and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fallout 4. Believe it or not. No, it really, really genuinely is. There's Preston Garvey, and you probably recognize the place. So I wanted to make this video kind of like in the vein of my previous Wildlands video that I did, where I just show you a cool mod that I tried out and tell you why it's awesome and why you should try it too.
Everyone was willing to pick up a rifle and protect his neighbor. The raiders wouldn't stand a chance.
Yeah, you know, more or less. You know, not just that, but we'll analyze a little bit, go into some amount of detail, but, you know, for the most part, that's what this video is going to be. So, this is a collection of mods, actually, for Fallout 4 that turn the game into something of a crossbreed between Fallout and Metro. Now, they don't turn the game into Metro. Let's not kid ourselves here. This is still Fallout. And if you take a look at some of the videos around for mods like these, and generally for graphic mods, overhaul mods for Fallout, you will find that a lot of them look really, really amazing, but they're short. And yes, there are segments here that look very, very amazing. And if I showed you the segment back there where, you know, it was snowing and I was shooting without the hood, well, I could disable the rest of the hood as well, but I like something with the hood. You know, if I did that, if I just shot from there and then, you know, skipped to something else, then yes, the game would look a lot better than it is. In actual fact, it's still great. Don't get me wrong, it's still great. It has some problems. It's still not a good Fallout game. I think Fallout 4 is a very good shooter, but it's not a good Fallout game. The quests, the dialogue, the progression, even though I have a mod that changes the progression and uses the old New Vegas system, which I think is miles better, but, you know, regardless of all of this, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but let's look at the mod and let's see, you know, a couple of things that change and, let's, you know, sorry, I'm focusing on Preston. Focusing on both shooting and talking at the same time is not exactly easy. Yeah, this is, I forgot about how difficult this segment is. Okay, so let's not delay any further and just get right on into it. I'm using the Ice Pick overhaul for the winter textures, that is, the snow, on the ground, the ice, etc., etc. The reason I'm using Ice Pick, and the other alternative is Winter Overhaul, in my modest opinion, Winter Overhaul is overkill. It paints everything white, including the interiors. Now, outside it looks good, but the interiors are kind of terrible. Everything's frozen on the inside, even though there's heat sources and everything. It's down to personal preference. I prefer the outside having, you know, rocks like that with no snow on them and just snow underneath, right? To me, it's not that immersion breaking. It looks a lot better, but if, you know, if that really annoys you, have rocks like that. I mean, these ones stand out in particular quite a bit. Other areas, if you see down there, aren't as bad. These stand out, you know, a lot. If that annoys you, then, you know, go for the Winter Overhaul mod. It's always pretty much a what you call it, a compensation between the two. Next, I'm using the Nuclear Winter mod, which adds winter in a gameplay perspective. That means hypothermia, freezing, food freezing, water freezing, etc., etc. Gas masks of the wasteland. That's gas masks pretty much exactly the way you use them in Metro Exodus and Metro 2077 and so on and so forth. You have to repair your gas masks, you have to find filters. Fortunately, you know, you can configure it to how difficult you want to make it. For me, I think a little bit easier than Metro makes sense because you spend most of your time outside in Fallout. Wouldn't make sense for it to be exactly the same if, you know, if you had to just stick around inside. Too much of the game is set outside to have it, you know, extra hardcore. So I have the radiation poisoning and stuff happening only during storms, harsh winds, etc., etc. But when the weather is fine, the radiation is not lethal and you can walk around without a mask. I think it's a very, very neat combination between Fallout and Metro. Whew! Alright, other than that, there are a couple of climate mods. I'm using an EMB, and I'm not... It doesn't matter which EMB you use, honestly. All of them bring something and take something away from the equation. It's always a balancing act, and I recommend that you try, whichever one you prefer. Just type in EMB in the next mods folder, or the next mods website. Grab, whichever one looks good, put it in the folder, and try it out. They're really, really great, and I'm also using Polluted Climate, the Winter Edition. It doesn't make just the climate polluted. The name is very misleading. I wasn't really sure I was going to get the mod, but yeah, the mod actually makes it snow, so it's very important. It's not just polluted. It doesn't just add, like smog and stuff like that. It's changes the lighting a little bit too. There's an interior plugin which I'm not using because I'm using a different mod for interiors. But yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. And you do have to constantly keep wiping the mask, which is, I think, very immersive, and I really, really like it. Something I really like in Stalker Anomaly 2, which I'm sure most of you are aware. One of my more popular and successful series, all things considered, well, at least in recent memory. So, this is the technical side of things. This is the mod. How does it change the game? Is it worth it? Well, the gameplay side of things, with the mask and the winter overhaul, does make you take a different approach to the game. It does make you play a lot more tactically, and with a heap of other mods, introducing new weapons, more damage, survival options, I think is one of my favourite too. One of my favourites.
We should get out of here as soon as we can.
Whoops. Okay, let's stand next to the radiated barrels. It's really... It makes the game a little bit more tactical. As you can see, I can't just run around willy-nilly in there. Though with power armor, you do gain a lot of survivability, so there is that option too. But without it, yeah. Anywho, is it worth it? Well, honestly, I think absolutely yes. It makes for so much of a more immersive and better experience playing the game overall, in every sense of the imagination. Obviously, this is tweakable to high hell. You can change whatever the hell you want. You can make it as easy or as difficult as you want. If you want higher health and you want combat to be more forgiving, you can tweak that. That goes without saying. Everything you can see is customizable. The game is also ridiculously stable for me. I don't think I've had a single crash. Maybe once when I died, but I don't think so. I don't remember having a crash, certainly. And I'm running like 150 mods or so yeah, it works. It's really great. And overall, so I just wanted to let you know, basically, about this. That's the whole purpose of the video. I wanted to let you know that this exists, that you can play it, that it's stable, and that it's a fresh take on Fallout, which I just realised is a bit of a pun, considering everything's freezing. But it is a fresh take on Fallout, with the huge variety of mods that we have. It is a little bit finicky to set up, but it doesn't have to be.
Looks like we're clear. At
least, it is maybe a little bit finicky now, but give it a few days, maybe a few weeks, and you can do it with the press of one button. Possibly. I can't guarantee for this because, it's the feature's not out yet, but Nexus Mod now has this whole collection option, which allows people to create a collection of mods that they're using, put them on a list, and then if you want to play the game just like those people do, well then, you just click the download collection thing, it installs everything, plugs it in, and you're golden. That's pretty darn impressive, you gotta admit. I mean, traditionally, since the beginning of modding games hasn't been the most easy and convenient thing. You have to debug a lot, you have to see why it's crashing, you have to make sure that a whole heap of mods play well together, one with each other. It's fun, don't get me wrong. I spent I think literally an entire day getting this to work. Well, I mean, not just getting it to work, but, you know, testing things out, seeing which options I prefer, etc., etc. And all of those things. I need to install a realistic ragdolls mod now that I just remembered. But it absolutely is one of those things, by the way, where you play for like an hour or two and then you're like, you know what, this needs more mods, and you go and download more. It absolutely is. There's no denying that. And that's a good thing. It genuinely is. It's kind of a good thing because the gameplay keeps evolving, you keep adding new stuff, and you're really, really happy about it. You know, your gameplay experience continues to improve. At least, ideally, until you completely break it. But you probably all know this already if you have any experience modding Fallout. That said, there are a couple of things I don't like. I don't like the item tags, which are mandatory for the mod setup that I have with the modern weapons and everything. I really would prefer to just remove the item sorting altogether from everything. Unfortunately, I can't do that, because of some UI mods and stuff like that that I'm running. I have to have a sorting mod. It's unfortunate, but there we go. I could remove all the tags manually, but honestly, it's too much work. I would rather just bear with them and ignore them, to be completely honest with you. Other than that, I haven't really noticed any problems in terms of stability and bugs or anything along those lines. Everything's working just fine. New Calibers is a little bit weird with some of the... which is I should explain first. New Calibers is a mod that adds, shockingly, new calibers. Basically realistic ammunition for all of the weapons, both modded and vanilla. And it works, but it's a little bit awkward sometimes. For example, if you have a modded AK on a soldier or a gunner or a raider or something, it's going to give it pretty much every type of ammo that an AK can potentially be chambered in. 5.56, 5.45, 7.62, 308 I think it's also going to give him, because you can mod 308 into an AK, which is weird, but you can do it. 223 Remington, etc., which are for some reason different rounds. Yeah, alright, it's not ideal, right? It's not ideal. A weapon chambered in 5.56 can fire 223 Remington, because it's literally the same round, more or less, but not in this game. Completely besides the point, though. It's just awesome, right? It just makes the game so much better, so much more immersive, but perhaps more importantly, it makes the game more fun to play. Sometimes fix animations. Now I say it makes it more fun to play, and I'm probably about to die to a giant fuck-off flamethrower. But maybe not. Oh, for fuck's sake. Did I get him? Oh, for crying out loud, Preston. Preston, could you please shoot the enemies? No? I can't speak and do this, sorry. Okay, there we go, that's a little bit more manageable now. The one thing I will mention is I'm having sub 60 FPS indoors. Not ideal, but I think I can fix that. I'm not entirely sure how at this stage, but I'm pretty sure that's fixable. Okay. By the way, that was the bullet time mod. Absolutely love it. I've been playing with bullet time. I've been playing Fallout in general with bullet time since New Vegas, and yeah, I really like it. All right. Anywho, let's wrap this up. So, ultimately, I wanted to make this video for two reasons. One, I already mentioned, right, to show you stuff, etc., etc. all fine and well.
Can't break the code.
The other reason I wanted to do the video is I want to tell you that oftentimes you're going to look at clips of Fallout overhauled and modded, and it's going to look really, really amazing. But it's still the same game. You know, if you actually go and play through an entire playthrough of it, you know, you start doing quests, you start actually progressing through the game, it's still the same game. No matter how many graphic mods you put onto it, or how many overhaul mods, it's still going to be Fallout. Well, unless you play with Grim, which is a horror overhaul for Fallout, which is terrifying and horrible in all the best ways. But it's a completely different experience, right? Actually, I have Grim installed, as you can see. I just haven't activated it yet. Probably will when I'm
Attention. Interfering with a
I'm probably when I'm a little bit more
a felony.
Oh God.
further down the
What is
line,
that
let's
smell?
say, with levels and skills and progression and quests and etc.
Oh,
etc.
it's right there.
Hey, personal. Just you or me?
So, ultimately, give it a shot. It's really awesome. It changes many, many things, but keep in mind that it's still Fallout. I think that's sort of the gist of the video. It does change a lot, but at the same time, don't expect this to be Metro 2 or Metro the Open World game or something along those lines. It's still, you know, it still has all the problems that Fallout originally did, with quests, with dialogues, etc. Even, you know, even with mods fixing some of those issues. So yeah. Anyways, that's more or less it. This is really a fascinating little experience that a complete world in the game can be changed so bloody drastically with just screen textures and a new weather system. Well then, okay, and on top of that, I guess, I'm not seeing the turret. On top of that, I guess, also the atmosphere and everything. It is fascinating, it is awesome, and I just wanted to show most of you this. Now, I understand, ironically, I'm doing this indoors. I'm talking about a winter mod. But, you know, at the same time, I think that's not necessarily unfair. A large chunk of Metro is indoors. You know, sort of in the title, right? A large part of it is set in the Metro, so... yeah, as you can tell, even if I put like a bunch of Metro-inspired weapon mods into this, it's still the Fallout combat system, right? It's still a little bit janky, it still has its problems. But that's fine. That's fine. You know, if you look for a combination of the two, for some sort of synthesis of Metro and Exodus, you know, inevitably, someone points this out in...
Here you are.
Someone pointed this out in a video I watched by LK, which is a very, very prolific content creator in that he, or I think she, I've just seen a couple of videos. I'm basing this on top of basing this on some of the comments that I've read. I think it's a she. In any case, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Anyways, it's not that it really matters. LK, or at all for that matter, LK does these overhaul showcases, right, where he or she will show you the best parts of an overhaul, be it winter, be it the horror overhauls, be it just graphics, trying to turn the game into something more like Stalker, something more like Escape from Tarkov, and that's just it. Every overhaul mod inevitably turns the game into one of those two, which are both closely connected if you think about it. Which I think speaks a lot about those games and not just Fallout. You know, it also speaks about what the sort of more hardcore and immersive inclined audience, let's say, likes to see in video games. I'm certainly one of them. You know, I'm not gonna lie about that. If you can give me a good overhaul mod that will turn the game into just Escape from Tarkov, but with the different quests and the NPCs and everything, I'll take it. I will take it. Unfortunately, that can't happen. Not with this engine, not with the mods being what they are, just people that have time and do it as a hobby and don't have millions upon millions to dedicate to something like this. So keep that in mind. But at the same time, it is exceptionally fun, and yeah. That's about it. If you're interested in the full mod list, I will try and provide that in the description down below in some form or another. I'll probably take a screenshot of my Vortex loader and put it on Imgur or one of those sites and show you that. I think that's the easiest for me. But yeah, other than that, I think that's enough. That's enough, and that's it for this video. I'm sorry I'm stumbling over my words. I wanted to do this really impromptu without preparing for it in any way, shape, or form. I just wanted to show you the mod, show you what an overhaul mod for this game is like, and yeah, that's more or less about it. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe down if you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned with the rest of the content that I produce on this channel. For now, I guess I'm out. That's been the mod, that's been Fallout, and I've been playing it for on and off, like in short bursts of like 30 or 40 minutes the last 2 weeks, and it's really, really awesome. Graphically, things change. Gameplay-wise, it's refreshing enough to sort of push you through the story, and there's plenty of exciting mods that really, change your experience. I think one of them, I'll just provide one more example and then I'm off. One of them is Sim Settlements, I think it's called, Rise of the Commonwealth, and that allows you to auto-manage building settlements, which in some places maybe you want to do. For example, I did it in Ten Pines Bluff, and I have Codsworth there building up the settlement for me. There is a plan that people make. There's multiple you can choose from. You can add more from add-ons and stuff, and it'll just build it on its own. Citizens will come in, and the happier they are and the more resources they have, they'll upgrade their homes and everything. In Sanctuary, on the other hand, I don't want to do that. I want to build Sanctuary myself, and I want to have it, I'm going to show it here. I want to have Sanctuary be the place, right? The capital of the Commonwealth, at least for the Minutemen, and have all the supply lines go to Sanctuary, which you can do, and I genuinely think that's the best thing you can do. Just have everyone go to Sanctuary, and by extension, everything will be connected. Highly centralized road system, but there you go. It also means if you lose Sanctuary, you're screwed, but we're not going to lose Sanctuary. Like, how could we? Anywho, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Give it a shot. Try it out. It's really fun. Have fun, take care, and bye-bye.